Namaste and welcome to advanced level backbend yoga flow. This is going to be an advanced class, so if you're a beginner or just starting with yoga, I recommend you go watch other videos on beginner or intermediate level. And for the rest, let's begin. We'll start off with Surya Namaskar A. So inhale as you raise your arms up, exhale as you fold forward, inhale into halfway lift, exhale as you jump or step back into Chaturanga, inhaling into upward facing dog, and then exhaling into downward facing dog. First downward facing dog of the day, so stretch out your legs, feel free to move them however you want. You can keep a slight bend in your knees here. Try to bring your drishti or your focus point to your navel or to the back of your mat. When you're ready, jump or step forward. And then inhale into halfway lift. Exhale into forward fold. And inhale all the way up. And then exhale in Tadasana. We're gonna repeat it another time. So inhale as you raise your arms up. Exhale into forward fold. Follow your own breath here. Inhaling into halfway lift. Exhaling as you jump or step back into Chaturanga. You can also do handstands in here when you're moving from that into Chaturanga. Inhaling into upward facing dog and then exhaling into downward facing dog. Again, staying here for a few breaths. Maybe try to put your heels on the ground. Remove that bend from your knees if possible. And then when you're ready, jump or step forward, inhaling into halfway lift, and then exhaling into forward fold, and inhaling all the way up. And then in Tadasana. Let's move on to Surya Namaskar B. Inhaling into chair pose, exhaling into forward fold, inhaling into halfway lift, exhaling as you jump or step back in Chaturanga, inhaling into upward facing dog, and then exhaling into downward facing dog. From here, inhale as you lift your right leg and bring it between your arms, and then inhaling and bringing your arms up in warrior one, and then immediately bringing your hands down on the ground and doing your vinyasa flow and meeting me in the downward facing dog. And then let's repeat it on the other side, bringing our left foot forward, inhaling our arms up in warrior one on the left side, and then immediately bringing our hands on the ground and doing a vinyasa flow with Chaturanga, followed by upward facing dog and then downward facing dog. You can stay here for a few breaths. Long deep inhales followed by long deep exhales through your nose. If you have Ujjayi breath, I highly recommend you incorporate that. That is the ocean sounds while inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And then look forward, jump or step forward, inhaling into halfway lift, and then exhaling into forward fold, and then inhaling into chair pose. And from here, go into Tadasana. Let's repeat Surya Namaskar B another time. This time you follow your own breath and your own movements, keeping that flow of movement and breath. maybe doing a handstand in between. Making sure your knees are stacked right on top of your ankles when you're going into warrior one. You can also do slight back bends by looking back and turning your hips forward a little when you are in warrior one. And try to stay for at least 3 to 5 breaths in your downward facing dog. And these are long, deep breaths. And when you're done, meet me in Tadasana or the mountain pose. And from here, come and sit on your mat. And we are going to go into Navasana and basically lifting both your legs up and then lifting your arms and keeping them parallel to each other. Eventually you should look like a V with your legs at 45 degrees and then your upper body also pulling forward. Gently release and cross your legs and lift your body off on your hands and then go straight away into another Navasana. Keep lifting your chest up. Don't let it fall down. Again, cross your legs and lift your body for a split second above the ground using your hands. Go again in Navasana. Again, cross your legs, lift yourself up, engaging your core. And if you can, jump back and then go into on a plank position on your hands, engaging your core, your shoulders, your legs, and don't just fall on your shoulders. Engage your shoulder blades and push yourself off the ground. Stay here for as long as you can, and then gently release and go into child's pose. From here, let's come into forearm plank position and look forward. And again, engage your shoulders, your core, your legs. Keep breathing. Another one of those poses where we have a tendency to hold our breath. That hasn't done good to any yogi so far, so I'm sure it won't to you. So keep breathing. And then from here, gently release and come on your knees. And again, realign yourself to come onto your forearms. But this time we are going to go for the dolphin pose. So tiptoe your feet towards your body, increasing that pressure on your shoulders and your forearms. Keep engaging your core here. and then gently release as you come back again in a seated position. Let's go again on our forearms and gradually into that dolphin pose, bringing our feet together. And from there, let's go into a downward facing dog. And then inhaling and bringing our right foot between our arms. Let's go into a warrior one. Keeping that slight back bend here. And then exhale as you come down. And then go into a vinyasa flow. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, followed by the downward facing dog. Now let's lift our left leg up and bend it from the knee and go into the wild thing. Lifting our hips up, opening up our chest, and slowly come back in downward facing dog. And let's repeat it on the other side, lifting our right leg up, bending it from the knee, and then resting it against the left foot, bringing it down on the ground and doing the wild thing, engaging our hips, lifting them up, and then slowly come back to meet me in a downward facing dog. From here, bring your left foot in between your arms and go for that warrior one on the left side. And bring your hands back on the ground. And you can do a vinyasa flow or just meet me directly in a downward facing dog. And then from here, we are going to go into a pigeon pose. So inhale as you lift your right leg and then bring your right knee next to your right wrist, and then bringing your right leg across towards the left side of the body, and then finding your balance here, we are going to bend our left leg, which is the one which is behind, and then grab it with our left hand to find that twist in our back here. Keep breathing here, and with every exhale, try to twist deeper and also pull your leg towards you. With every inhale, find that length in your spine, and with that exhale, twist deeper. Gently release the pose and come into downward facing dog, repeating it on the other side, bringing our left knee next to our left wrist and turning our left leg towards the right side, finding that balance, bringing our right knee on the ground, and then bending that right leg from the knee, and then reaching out with our right hand to grab the right foot, and then inhale as you find the length, and then exhale as you twist and find that back bend here on the right side. Gently release the pose and meet me again in the downward facing dog. From here, let's come into the lying position on our mat with our back on the mat, And then bring our arms next to our ear, palms on the ground, and then bend your knees to bring them closer to your body. And let's go into the wheel pose. Gently pushing yourself against the ground and going for that wheel pose. You can bring your foot a little closer once you are here and keeping that engaged position. And then gently come down, releasing one vertebrae at a time to the ground. And then hug your knees in to release any pressure from your lower back. And then lift yourself up to go for a forward bend. Again, this is also a passive position just to release any stress from the lower back. You don't have to go too deep into this forward bend here. Next comes sit on your mat in a kneeling position and bring your hands on your back slightly above your hips to support your lower back, and then push your hips forward as you bend from your back, and then gradually bring your one hand to reach for the heel of that foot and then the other one, and then look back, go back, keep going back while pushing your hips forward. Keep looking back and then slowly come back up by bringing one hand to your back and then the other, and then go for a child's pose for a brief movement here. Then come into a tabletop position, and from here bring your forearms on the ground, again going into the dolphin position, slowly tiptoeing and bringing our feet together, and then jump into a forearm stand. You can bring one leg first and then swing to bring the other one, or you can bring both of them together, whichever way you want to get there. Only try this if it's in your practice. You can also use the support of a wall if you have access to it, if you're doing it at home or someplace where there's a wall next to you. And find that balance here. And if you do find that balance, then you can start bending your knee. And slowly come back and go into child's pose. And from here, come back on a lying position on your back. We are going to start to try to wind down. So bend your left knee in and hug it 2 inches below the knee and pull it towards your underarm on the left side, and keep your left arm and your right arm both close to your body. When you're done, gently release the left leg and repeat it on the right side, hugging it 2 inches below the right knee and keeping our arms close to our body. Hug it and pull it towards the right underarm. Gently release the right leg down. And then bring your left leg across the right knee and lift your left and turn your body towards the left side, looking towards the left side. You can use your right hand to gently push down your left leg to deepen that stretch on the left side of the body. Once done, you can gently release the leg and repeat it on the other side, bringing your right foot across the left knee and then looking towards the right side and using your left hand to gently push your right leg down. Stay here for as long as you need, and once you're done, gently release and bring the leg back, and then bend both knees and do windshield wipers, bringing both legs from left to right. And once you're done, release everything and go lay down on your mat in your final resting position, Savasana. Release any tension that you might have accumulated and just let your body float on the ground. Thank you for coming to your mat today and following along. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.